And we are live. Welcome to our OxFit weekend review. We are just one day late because I was waiting on these two ladies and a few other people to get back in town. So, Lauren, where were you guys?
At the beach,
Oh,
getting medals. Yes, Grace, hold that medal up proud.
yeah, hold it close to the camera. Let me see what we got. Oh, those are cool this year.
Yeah, and
Those are
actually,
sick.
I'm wearing all the gear. I've got the
Okay.
shirt too.
Oh, dang. It's like kind of retro.
It's cool. Like it's actually a good color. It's not like some weird, like terrible coral color that like you don't.
Yeah. They like changed their logo. I feel like they always give the same shirt every year, but that one's different.
Yeah, it's cool this year, and I'm wearing the Bulls on the Beach hat. So we had a good weekend.
So for those of you that don't know, we do Ox on the Beach, which is our name for the Gulf Shores Triathlon. We go every year. How many years have we been going, Lauren?
I just did my 5th, but I have skipped a couple years from having babies. So like, man, it's been like 7 years, I think. 7,
Yeah.
8 years.
I think this is the first time in 3 years that I haven't been down there with you guys. And then the past 2 years, I did the race. So I had serious FOMO. It's such a fun event. And it's like the perfect cap to summer. Like beach trips, get to be in the ocean, school just gets back in. So it's like, if you had any sadness about letting go of summer vacations, you get like one last little hurrah. And it's just such a blast.
Victory
And
lap.
most people don't know how beautiful Gulf Shores, Alabama is. I feel like people don't think Alabama is even having beaches.
Yeah, Grace. Yeah, that surprised you, right? You had never been to the Gulf Shores.
Never been. And yeah, Alabama, I was kind of like on the I'm just going to the beach. Left Alabama out of it entirely. But it really was beautiful. I was very impressed, I will say. So
Yeah, the weather looked absolutely perfect. But yeah, so Ox on the Beach triathlon, there's a swim, there's a bike, and a run. We had people doing a couple different versions. So Lauren, do you want to lay out like what the two types of triathlons are and what athletes were training for which ones?
Yeah, I'm pulling up my notes just to make sure I don't miss anybody. But yeah, so we had actually 4 athletes do the Olympic triathlon. Sorry, I just went dark there. But yeah, so we had 3 moms, strong moms, doing our Olympic triathlon, which is a mile swim, a 25-mile bike, and a 6-mile run. And then our Ironman Dave joined us down there too, and he did the Olympic for fun, just because he's doing an Ironman in a month. So, but our moms all did the Olympic, and it was amazing. And I know we're going to talk results in a little bit, but every one of us crossed the finish line feeling great. And then we had, so for Grace and Catherine, it was their first triathlon, and they did, well, it was Grace's first triathlon. She did an Olympic. It was Catherine's first triathlon since having babies, and she did an Olympic. So like an amazing, amazing feat. Not an easy race. Like I think it's harder than a marathon personally.
Agreed.
And then, yeah, Grace Jackson and her husband did sprint triathlons for the first time, which was incredible. Chris Cash did the sprint and totally annihilated it. No surprise there. Coach Cash killed it. And then Henry did a duathlon. So the sprint triathlon is a 300-meter swim, a 12-mile bike. So it's half the distance of the Olympic, and then it's a 2-mile run. So for our OxFit team, like that was like a cakewalk. It was, it was hot, but so it was tough still, but they were fit and ready. And then Henry kind of joined the triathlon team, I would say relatively late in the game in our triathlon training programming. And he finished it. He crushed it. He did great. Like he had some cramping going on, but like he did it. And I think that was it. I didn't miss anybody there, right? No, yeah, that was the team.
Yeah. I got a little pic of our squad the morning of when you guys were getting ready to head down. And I apologize if you just said this, but Grace, what was your triathlon experience before this event?
This was my first triathlon.
Yes.
I've kind of done each of the pieces individually throughout the course of my life, but I've never strung them together. So this was kind of a fun opportunity for that.
Yeah. And I know you guys were working so hard leading up to the event. So Grace, do you want to speak a little bit to what it kind of looked like leading up to your first triathlon, how the training went, how you were feeling before the event, just any thoughts about that?
Sure. Yeah. So, I mean, I think a lot of the training outside of just the going to the gym itself was really concentrated around those Sunday run clubs. So a few track sessions early on, some like brutal in the gym sessions, just railing on the machines. Those are not my favorite. And then really kind of taking it to the outdoors. And so getting on the bike over on the Silver Comet Trail, getting in the pool, some open water swims at Red Top Mountain, which of course is my absolute favorite to go do in the summer, and bring the family along as well. And then we started stringing some things together towards the end. So doing some run bike situations, and then also a mock try. So that was really helpful kind of towards the end as we were getting closer and closer to the actual event itself. So yeah, I think paced pretty well. And I felt pretty ready once we got there.
Yeah. What I love about Lauren's program that she does to get you guys ready is that it's not just swimming and biking and running all in a row every single weekend, doing a version of a triathlon every weekend. It just layers on top of what we do in the gym and then what you guys do on the weekends so nice that when you get to the event, you're actually excited to swim, you're excited to ride the bike, you're excited to do it, and you're not like, oh my God, this again. Like I've put hundreds of miles on my legs on the run and the bike, and I've been in the water constantly. So I think it keeps you super motivated and feeling really fresh and ready for the event. So I hope that's how you guys felt before you got in the ocean that morning.
Totally. Yeah. Exactly right.
Yeah, I think my initial training or programming email salve was sent out in the middle of May. And so it's wild, like thinking back that far. So
Yeah.
it was 3.5 months of, a timeline of scheduled events and training events that were happening. And, it was like you touched on, the variety that we were able to fit into that timeline was great. So we focused on endurance, speed, even recovery in there too, some very specific skill, training events. We started with a 5K, then we did the Peachtree Road Race, and then we did, a sprint triathlon, a couple of us at Lake Lanier. There was some High Rocks and DECA partner workouts that we squeezed in. So like very different hybrid fitness as well. So lots of variety. And I think to your point, it allowed us all to, have a lot of fun and not overwork the same muscle groups constantly, so that, we were able to avoid injury and go into it feeling, ready. And everyone crossed the finish line, and everyone did the whole race. There were no injuries, there were no mishaps or anything. So I think everyone was very well prepared, going into it.
Yeah, that's amazing, especially with just, this was our first time, I think, having probably so many parents doing it that have young kids and have busy lives and all of these things. And just knowing that you still do have time to give back to yourself, and just with those once a week extra sessions to take time for you, can get you ready for something as huge as an Olympic triathlon, which, like you said, I agree, it's harder than a marathon. That 6-mile run is like, yeah.
Brutal.
I mean, I feel proud of yourself when you crossed the finish line, but like I was questioning if I would get there.
Yeah. Mentally, it's the hardest thing coming off the bike. And then, your legs feel like lead, and heat. There's no escape from the sun. Yeah. There's no shade. It's like you're literally in a cooker and you're just overheating. And like, can you keep going for an hour without fainting is almost what it feels like, And
the course is so, I mean, it's out and back, which I always say I'm grateful for, because I feel like if it was a loop situation, I don't know if I could do another loop if I found myself back to where I started. So if you go 3 miles out, you have to get back. So you might as well finish the race, which is brutal, but it's nice in that way, I guess.
True, because the swim and the bike are both loops for us.
Yeah.
like going for that second lap on the swim. I don't want to get ahead of ourselves here, but like that is tough getting back in the ocean when you get out and having to go back in for another 750 meters.
Right. All right. So yeah, you mentioned not getting ahead of ourselves. So I'm going to pull this picture back up. Grace, how are you feeling in this moment? I'm not a very good bike rider. I will say the most nerve-wracked I was trying to get myself and all of my stuff on the bike and to the start line. Felt like it was so stressful.
I was grateful that I had a bag I could sling on my back like a backpack.
Right.
But yeah, others who had the tote and it was like throwing them off balance.
Yeah.
Got a little dicey there. In this moment, I think completely unaware of what is like truly to come. Like still like just, peaceful, like, oh, just going out, swim, bike, run, easy. So just kind of ready for the day.
Did Caitlin feed you guys before?
She was planning on it, but I think we were all like so prepared, with our nutrition and everything, that we all had our own particular things that we like knew we wanted to eat.
Right.
So,
and that's something else that you helped prepare everyone for, is like how to fuel before the Sunday sessions and what we should be eating before and during the race. And I've got our little, I don't know whose this is. Whose setup is this?
That's mine. I took a picture of it for us. Yeah. Because that was definitely one of the benefits of doing our mock triathlon. I can have Grace chat a little bit more about that, but getting to show our athletes that hadn't done a triathlon before and have them practice laying their stuff out, because race morning, that is not what you want to be doing, is like looking at other people's setups. Like, where do I put this? How do I put that? How do I lay this out so it makes the most sense, so I can cut my transition down and not forget something when I, get in from the ocean, get out of the ocean and get on my bike.
Right.
And so there is, and this is just to capture too, like there is so much stuff you need for a triathlon. It is so easy to forget something, to not bring enough food, not bring enough water. So we were all like really, even though it's a solo adventure out there, we were working together as a team to help each other. Like, do you have enough water bottles on your bike? Like Johnny gave Henry one because he didn't have enough. And thank God he ended up with enough, because otherwise he would have been cramping majorly. But yeah, Grace and Catherine both did, our nutrition programming and coaching program at some point, like in the past year. And I think the lessons that they got out of that, fueling their body around their workouts and everything, you could tell that they were really focused and dialed in on their nutrition, the timing of their nutrition, and how much they were getting. And neither of them had any issues on the race. So it was really cool to see them execute on that.
Yeah, that's awesome. Do you think, Grace, you felt super prepared with the mock try and felt still cool and collected setting up all your gear?
Totally. I don't think I fully appreciated the mock try until like this moment, getting there and being like, oh, I have done this. And it became a little bit of muscle memory at that point. And that was really comforting, versus what Lauren is saying, looking around, just trying to be like, what the heck am I doing here? How is everyone else set up? It's like I kind of knew the ropes and what we were looking to do. So
yeah, and all it takes is one time. You guys just did one mock try, but even doing that with a coach and with a group of people that are there to help each other, it just makes it so much more enjoyable, because there is nothing worse than feeling unprepared or letting things like that get in the way of you just having fun and enjoying the event. So it sounds like you guys had it all lined up, and I know how Lauren is, and I know that this picture probably just embodies the whole training prep and the whole weekend with how organized and meticulously laid out it is. So,
and I mean, kudos to our team. Savannah, I know you touched on this briefly already, that how many parents we had, but like it is hard as a mom. I know Grace like had a lot going on this summer. She traveled, she was in New York, she had stuff going on with Olivia, and I, obviously had lots on the schedule with Leo and Mia, and for Catherine has 4 kids. So, she's had a ton going on too. But like none of us were able to execute our maybe training plan perfectly, because we're moms and stuff comes up and life happens. And, we have commitments to our families and events to run around to with our kids. But these 2 women and moms, I couldn't be any more proud of them to have done this by their side, because They showed up when they could, and when they couldn't, they found a way to squeeze something in, and the results speak for themselves. Like, they're here that morning, we're together, you know, and they're smiling. There's nerves. There's definitely pre-race jitters. I even had them, but like, we enjoyed the journey together, and they showed up when they could, and they felt confident, I think, overall, really going into the race, you know, knowing that they did the work and now it was just time to have fun. And I think that this picture really reflects that, like a sweet moment between us three. Like, we are here, let's friggin' do this, you know?
Yeah. No, I hope you guys feel just like so proud of yourself. I love this photo of you guys, and I'm really happy that you were all able to see it through and not only get there, but cross the finish line. Like you said, no injuries, and have, you know, a good experience to report back. Grace, yeah. I'm going to check in. What were you feeling in this moment when you got to the start line? You saw everybody lining up, probably going into the water one by one.
Yeah, one by one. You know, it was kind of exhilarating. I've done a few like long distance races in my life. I'm kind of familiar with this this kind of pre-race jitters. And so it's like just ready to get going, because the second your foot touches that water, it's like all of that nervousness goes away and you're just like in it, ready to go. You know, so this was exciting. It was absolutely beautiful. So couldn't have been happier in this moment, I don't think.
Oh, I love that. Well, once the race got started, any surprises, any jellyfish, anything crazy happening, or was it just smooth sailing the whole time?
Grace, you go first.
Me first?
Yeah, go ahead.
I mean, not to be lame, but I truly felt so prepared that, you know, no surprises really on my end. The hardest thing the whole time probably was like literally figuring out where to go to get back into the water. I almost like went up into the crowd and they were like, no, like what? No. And I was like, oh, right. The water, it's over there. Got it. You know, so it's, you know, I think it was such a well-organized race as well. And the organizers are so nice, you know, so on top of having an incredible team to train with and ask all of the questions and feel really prepared, like the race itself was just incredible. A great one for a first time, I think. So yeah, no surprises. The run sucked more than I thought it was going to. That was probably the biggest surprise.
Yeah. But really no jellyfish? I feel like that's the first time in like 3 years that there haven't been jellyfish in the water.
We were so lucky. I mean, Savannah, it was perfect race conditions, really, besides the heat. It could have been a little cooler for sure. But yeah, the water was pristine. It was, you know, it was clear. It was beautiful. There were no storms the week before. Mm-hmm. And so, yeah, I didn't get stung once. I'd have to say the first lap out for me surprised me a little bit. It was a little choppier than it has been in the past. And so it took me a little while to kind of get my swim stride down. Mm-hmm. I would say the first like 350 or 300 meters or so out, I could not quite get like my breathing down on my swim, but my second lap, I like settled in and got more confident. So that kind of surprised me a little bit. But I have to brag on Grace. She swam that mile. It was just shorter than a mile in 33 minutes, which is incredible. Yeah, I mean, she has a swim background, but still, like, that's just amazing, especially for your first one. Mm-hmm. And then Catherine did awesome too. She was really nervous for the swim, like I was too, my very first race, but I was so proud of her. We all swam in under 40 minutes, which is really, really good.
That's amazing.
Yeah. And then we crushed, like absolutely slayed the bike. Like it was so fun. We all were like really close to each other. We were like kind of passing each other a little bit here and there, waving to each other. You know, we saw everyone out on the bike race. The way back in on the bike, like, so you do your 6 miles out and then you come in and you do 6 miles in, and there is a pretty nasty gust of wind, you know, getting thrown at you. So the way back in on your bike kind of sucked. But yeah, I have to say the only thing that really surprised me too is how much I was affected by the heat on the run.
Yeah.
How prepared I was for this. Like I was on track to get under 3 hours for this. triathlon, and I had to start walking a little bit on the run on the way in because my body was just like depleted. Like, and I executed my nutrition plan perfectly, but like I just, was really getting the cold, like goosebumps, you know?
Yeah.
So my body was like, okay, let's be smart here on the way back in. But yeah, what an amazing race day we had though.
Yeah, it sounds like it. Grace, were you going to add something?
I forgot about the cold chills. Yeah, being simultaneously burning hot and freezing cold at the same time was kind of unreal. And I had to get back and be like, Lauren, what was happening to my body? That was pretty crazy, but very.
You left it all out there, Grace. That's what you did. You left it all out there. You were cruising.
And just such a good feeling just to, I'll never forget, just turning the corner. You like go up the little incline and then you can like see the finish line and you're just like, oh, it's so close.
There was a cool moment actually on the race too. Like Grace and I came in on the bike pretty much at the same time, and we were able to like fist bump each other as we headed out for our run, which was cool because like it can be lonely out there.
Oh, yeah.
So it was like lonely. It definitely gave me a boost of energy to like take off on my run for sure.
Yeah. Especially when you see it like thin out after the sprint people turn around. I don't know if you had many sprinters at the same time as you, but I feel like the last time I did it, I was like, oh, take me with you. Like I have to keep going and you guys are turning around, and it's just like such a like trip on your mind.
Yeah, it's mental when you're like, okay, we're still going. They're turning around at 1 mile. We're like, we've got to go all the way to, and when you see how far the run is, like, you know, we drove past it obviously later that day. We're like, oh my God, look how far it is. Like it just feels like that run never ends.
Yeah, it's definitely an achievement to get through that. I want to pull up.
Yeah, it was fun.
Where's our little, I want to pull up you, Lauren. There you are.
Chris says turning around at 1 mile felt amazing.
Oh yeah.
No need to brag.
I know. Cash did the Olympic last year, but he got to do the sprint this year. So
yeah, he hit his goal too. A shout out to the dads too. We had 2 badass dads, Henry and Chris, that came down, and they were a lot of fun. So we were glad to have them join us.
Absolutely. Yeah. Smile says it all. I don't think I have a photo of Grace and Catherine at the finish line, but I'm sure you guys felt the same way after you get your medal and did they give you the freezing cold towel that like brings you back to life?
Yes, they did.
And the beer that also.
And the beer. Yeah. Yeah. When you finish, I'm like, where's my beer ticket?
We got 2 of them this year actually too.
Nice.
Yeah. But yeah, I was thrilled to be done and ready to party.
Speaking of, race wraps up. Did you guys get to take a nap or you went straight to party?
I did not get to nap.
Yeah, straight to party pretty much. We stayed at the hangout, got our free meal, had a couple drinks, and then we took it back to the pool and we were pre-gaming at the pool, and then that led to this spontaneous bachelorette party for Caitlin at the rodeo. So
amazing. But I think I just love like all parts of this event because I feel like it's so OxFit, like the time and the prep and the, importance you put on training and being together, and then the execution of the event. And then of course we don't do anything without having a little bit of fun. So you get your fun bulls on the beach, rodeo, little party afterwards. And it's always just such a cool event. And then Caitlin said it's the best
night. Yeah, the rodeo is amazing. It is the best people watching. It's the best chance to just celebrate our hard work together and let loose a little bit and have a bushwhacker, which Grace was like, what is this? And then ended up liking it. But
yeah.
A lot of dark rum in there.
Yeah. I don't think I want to know what's in it. Just give it to me.
Whatever. We deserve it. We earned it. Yeah. And they have live music. There's bands. There's different rooms with different country bands, and so yeah, we had a good time. There might have been some, shots being thrown out at us and stuff. Yeah, and got this cool hat as well.
Goals on the beach.
I actually bought it for Aunt, but I had to wear it today.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, yeah, that's amazing. So if you had to just sum up the weekend in 1 or 2 words, what would it be?
Much needed.
Much needed.
Yeah. It's like you get to go. It's like the best combination of like a massive achievement, relaxation, like some time away for myself. Like all the way around, just like what I needed.
That's awesome. Yeah, I totally feel accomplished and surprisingly refreshed, even though like my body doesn't really feel refreshed. My mind does, so yeah, I set a big goal. I think I didn't admit to myself that I wanted to try to get a lifetime PR. I said I wanted a postpartum PR, but I feel super accomplished because I beat my best time ever, which was 3:07. And that was pre-kids. And I got 3:06. So it was close. It was close, but I got it. And yeah, like it was so great being there with just a great group of people, awesome moms that were able to celebrate being, away from our kids, and dads that were also away from their kids celebrating. And Grace and Johnny were amazing to have there. They're the coolest couple and the baddest athletes, and they both had an awesome time and did amazing. So yeah, we just had a really, really good group of people, and we had a lot of fun together. So accomplished, awesome. Refreshed, and had a lot of fun.
Yeah, great. Well, thank you guys so much for telling me all about the weekend. And then before we go, I know whether people tune into this or not, I know they saw all of the awesome photos from the weekend. They see us posting about it. So Lauren, what would be, and Grace, your advice for someone that sees it and says, I want to do it next year? Like, what are your next steps to maybe not let people get too ahead of themselves, or how could they best prepare to get ready for an Olympic or a sprint triathlon?
Yeah, well, I'll jump in. My best advice would be to let me know, or let a coach know that you're interested, you want to do this. It's so early on. So, let's get started early by just dialing in your nutrition and really focusing on the workouts that will give you the biggest benefit for boosting your endurance and leg strength, right? To get you across that finish line. And then my best advice is, when that registration opens up, buy the ticket, just sign up, register, and then we will take you the rest of the way, because we have been doing this for 7-8 years now. And so the plan is in place, and every year I learn something different, new, that I want to add or change. And so I feel like this year we nailed it, but it's going to be even better next year. So just let us know and sign up, buy that ticket, hold that weekend on your calendar.
Oh yeah.
You will not regret it. Right, Grace?
Will not regret it.
Yeah. No, that was great. Coaching perspective. And now, Grace, athlete perspective, what would you say to anyone that's in the gym or maybe joining the gym that would want to do this event?
I agree with just sign up. That's the easy part, right? And then you're kind of hooked. And honestly, if you're an athlete at OxFit, the Olympic is not that far of a jump. You can get there just with a little bit of extra training. And if you're truly freaking out and nervous, go for the sprint your first year, get your bearings, and then go for the Olympics the next year. You got to start somewhere. So
yeah. Awesome. Well, I think that's great advice, ladies. I hope people reach out to you, Lauren, to let them know they're interested. I'm sure you'll have people in the gym asking you about it, Grace. And I know I definitely got serious FOMO. So I will be buying my ticket for next year for sure, so I don't miss it again. But yeah, I can't wait to see you guys in the gym, of course, but then hopefully run it back in Gulf Shores in 2026.
Let's go. Get one of these.
All right, guys, hold up your medal. Hold up an ox. We're going to close it out. Thank you, ladies. I appreciate you. You crushed it. Proud of you. Have a great Tuesday.
Thank you. You too.
Proud of you.